there, this is Ria. Welcome back to my YouTube channel, riasupermomma. This video that I am doing today was highly requested in the JuJuBe community. It is sort of like the evolution of the JuJuBe Midi backpack because during 2020, JuJuBe made a few updates and improvements to the Midi backpack style. There were comments on the strap, there were comments on the size. So all of these changes were made sometime in 2020. So I picked out 4 Midi backpacks from my collection to show you the different updates made on the Midi backpack style. And later I'm going to show you because the size also changed. It became a little bigger. So later I will show you packing, like what fits in the older style and what fits in the newer style, like the bigger size. And then I will also show you, I have over here, this is a special edition Midi, so I will show you that as well. And I'll also compare it later to a few other JuJuBe backpacks. So let's start first with the original Midi backpack design of JuJuBe. So I have here the Olive Midi backpack that was part of the Chromatics collection. I do not own any of the Midi backpacks that were released in 2019, but this Midi backpack in Olive was the same design and style as the older Midi backpacks. Except that the Chromatics collection has metal zippers on their Midis, and the earlier Midis, part of the classic collection and the collabs of JuJuBe, they all had, like, you know, plastic zippers, just the regular zippers. So this one is the same size, the same style, except the zippers are metal. So first, you notice this is the older design compared to the newer ones. This is a lot slimmer, like narrower. These are wider. And I'll also show you the strap design of the backpack straps. So let's see. Let's turn over 2 of these to the side. I have here a measuring tape to show you the base of the original Midis were about, let's see, 3.5 to 4 inches. I guess 4 inches. Inside it would be like smaller. And then the newer ones are wider. This is about 4.5 to 5 inches wide. So there is about an inch difference, but that 1 inch depth makes a big difference in packing, and I will show you later after I show you the different features and improvements made on the Midi. So that's one. The new Midi, this one is in Teal Lagoon. This was released a few months after the Olive Midi. So these are now wider, and I believe the larger size Midis started with the Navy Duchess Midi that was released in May 2020. So that's one. The new Midis are now larger than the original Midis. The next update that JuJuBe made on the Midi was on the hardware on the backpack straps. So I will show you the hardware on the original design of the Midi, and then I will show you the update made on the hardware on the newer design of the Midi. So here is the Olive Chromatics Midi again. So if you notice, so the straps of the Midi are these webbed seatbelt-like straps. They are attached to the backpack with this buckle over here. There is a sliding buckle over here. Some of the comments made on the style of the backpack straps of the Midi was that this buckle here would sometimes hit their sides or their back. To be honest, I never had an issue with this style of backpack straps. I didn't feel the buckle, but others did. So you see how this strap down here, it's attached to the bottom of the midi by this buckle, and here's a strip of the strap, and it is sewn to the back panel of the midi. So the hack to make it more comfortable was to seam rip it. It was to remove these threads over here so that it would open up, so that this buckle will not hit your side or your back. So that's the original strap design. And also notice the shape. Notice the shape. See how rectangular it is for this one too. It's very rectangular, and it's very angled over here. It's not sharp, but it's a pretty 90-degree angle edge. So it's not too pointed, but it's more pointed than the newer one. So one improvement that JuJuBe made was on these two buckles. So the slider buckle over here is now rounded. And down here, the slider, not a slider, but the buckle attached to the bottom also has more rounded corners. So here are the sliders on the old midi and the new midi. If you notice, the older midi, as mentioned, they have more angled corners. The newer midi buckle sliders have rounded corners. So you can kind of see it over here. Okay, and then the bottom, so you can see this one also has the same angled corners, while the newer versions have more rounded corners. So this is the more rounded corner, and the older one has the more angled corner. So there. So after the improvement that JuJuBe made on the hardware of the backpack straps, JuJuBe made another improvement, another update on the strap of the midi, because after the hardware was updated with the more rounded cornered hardware, there were still some feedback. So this new update on the midi is one of my favorite updates on the midi, aside from the larger size. So let's put this Teal Lagoon Midi down. Let's focus on, so this is the original style and size midi, the Olive Chromatics midi. And now I will show you the Rose Garden Midi backpack. So this was released in December 2020. And the Rose Garden backpack has the bigger size. It has the rounded cornered hardware. And now it has the new and improved strap design. So here's the bottom of the strap of the midi. So notice that it's no longer attached to the back of the midi with a piece of the seatbelt strap that is sewn to the back. It is now sewn to a tab of fabric of the same print, and it is now open. So see, it is no longer sewn to the back panel of the bag like the original midi. It is now wide open like this. No, it used to be attached over here. So this is a great improvement. I really like this improvement, and I think it addresses the feedback given about the hardware on the backpack straps. So here's the other side. So it's no longer attached to the back panel of the bag. No need to seam rip on the back. So to the side, it looks like this when worn. This is a great improvement on the midi, and I really like it. So again, here is the older style. It is attached to the backpack like this. It is sewn to the back panel like this. So when worn, so it looks like this. So I really like this new style. So thank you to JuJuBe for listening to the feedback given by the community. This is really great. I hope you like this improvement too. Those were the improvements made on the design of the midi backpack. So it's now bigger, and then the straps are now better and more improved and hopefully more comfortable for most. And if you have any questions, let me know in the comments down below. So this is the Rose Garden Midi. Let's now show you the special edition Tweeting Pretty Midi backpack. So this midi backpack is part of the Tweeting Pretty release. It is a re-release of Pretty Tweet that was released back in 2010. So Tweeting Pretty is a re-release of Pretty Tweet, but with several improvements. I will link my first look video for Tweeting Pretty down below if you'd like to see. So this Tweeting Pretty Midi is a special edition midi. It has the bigger size, it has the improved backpack strap design, and it's quite special because the straps are made of JuJuBe's new woven strap material. So JuJuBe released new woven straps along with the Chromatics 2.0 release. The straps are thicker than the normal webbed seatbelt straps of JuJuBe. So they're thicker, and then they have these cute design, stripe design. This one is the Tweeting Pretty style woven strap, and it also has, see this one, okay, this one's lighter, so it will, you can see the new and improved backpack strap design. So it's no longer sewn to the back panel. It is now opened up like this when you wear the backpack. So it looks like this when worn. It's no longer sewn to the back and then like over here. So it's now like this, and so the woven strap material is thicker. So this, as mentioned, is like a special edition midi. I have here the Tweeting Pretty woven strap. So you see they are the same colors. They have gray, beige, white, and yellow. But so the midi, the woven straps on the Tweeting Pretty midi are not as wide as the JuJuBe woven, sold separate woven strap. So I think the JuJuBe woven straps are, so they are 2 inches wide. So these are the same width as the midi backpack straps. So the midi backpack straps are 1.5 inches wide. So these are also 1.5 inches wide, but they have the same, they're made of the same material as the woven strap that is sold separate and 2 inches wide. So I just wanted to show you that. And then, so now let's go over to comparison of the size of the new midi compared to the size of the old midi. So the old midi, as mentioned, they were narrower. This was about 3.5 to 4 inches deep like this, and this is around 4.5 to 5 inches deep. And I have them packed with some JuJuBe accessories so that you can have an idea of what can all fit. So here is the inside of, here's the inside of the midi. So this is the original midi that has a narrower depth, shorter depth. So I packed 2 medium set pieces. So I packed 2 medium set pieces in there. Over here, I packed 3 medium set pieces. So I have 3 medium set pieces on the top. And in here, I have 2 medium set pieces. So because it is bigger from front to back versus the older one, I can fit more set pieces on the top like this. So there, just wanted to show that. And in the older one, see, I just fit 2 medium set pieces. You can squish it a little more, but I just wanted to show that this can handle more, you know, like depth. Like, see, I was able to fit 3 full medium set pieces, and here I have 2 medium set pieces. So let me take those out. And then let me take these out. So now let's see the inside. So in the inside, so this is the inside of the original midi. I packed a Be Cool and a medium set piece. So width-wise, it can fit that Be Cool and the medium set piece. Whereas in the Tweeting Pretty Midi that is bigger, I packed a fuel cell and a medium set piece. So the fuel cell is JuJuBe's snack bag. It is an insulated bag where you can fit snacks, your lunch, baby bottles. You can put an ice pack. It keeps things warm and cold for a longer time. It is also bigger than the newer cooler that JuJuBe released. It's called the Be Cool. So you can also fit a Be Cool in the midi. It's just that you can't fit anything else. That's just to show you that the older midi is a little narrower in depth versus the newer midi. So this is the Be Cool. Here's the medium set piece. So let's put that down there. So let me take out, so here's the medium set piece in here. And then here is this is a fuel cell in olive juice. And this is a Be Cool also in Olive Chromatics. So hold on, I'm not sure if this is gonna stand. Okay, I think it will stand, okay. Because the newer midis have a wider base. They can stand better on, you know, if they're empty. And this is also the Chromatics line. So the fabric is a little bit softer, but as you can see, it still, you know, it's because the style of the midi is structured, and it stands on its own. So it could stand on its own. So here is the Be Cool compared to the fuel cell. That's why I was able to fit the fuel cell better in the bigger size midi versus the smaller one. So you see the difference in the base of these two. So the Be Cool is shorter. It's narrower in depth from front to back versus the fuel cell. So this one is about 3.5 to 4 inches, and this one is the fuel cell is about 4.5 to 5 inches. So the base of the fuel cell is about the same size as the base of the bigger midi backpack, and the base of the Be Cool is about the same size as the base of the older midi backpack. So there were many questions on, you know, the difference of what fits into what, and I hope this shows you, it gives you an idea a little bit of how much more you can pack in the larger size midi backpack. So lastly, I wanted to show you really quickly the differences in the height of the different JuJuBe backpacks. I picked out, JuJuBe has several backpacks, but I picked out 3 more to compare to the midi backpack. So in terms of size, the midi backpack is about the same size as the mini B. It's a little taller. The mini B, I guess it's a little shorter. It doesn't fit folders, but the midi does. They are about the same size. The midi is more structured, while the mini B is a little softer. The straps of the midi are the webbed seatbelt strap style, while the mini B has these padded backpack straps. And then the next in size is the Be Packed. So as you can see, the Be Packed is a little taller than the midi. The top is rounded, the bottom is also rounded, while the midi is boxier in shape. It's the same depth from the top to the bottom, whereas the Be Packed is rounded on the top and the bottom. And then here is the B right back. So the B right back is larger in capacity than the B pack, the Mini B, and the Midi. So it is one of JuJuBe's larger backpacks. So I just wanted to show you the difference in the height for these backpacks. So that's it. That was the quick evolution of the Midi. And I hope that you found this video helpful, and I hope that it answered some of your questions on what improvements and updates were made on the JuJuBe Midi backpack. If you have any questions, please leave a comment down below. I will get back to you as soon as I can. And if you'd like to see more JuJuBe content, please head over to my Instagram at riasupermomma. I have several packing photos, mix and match, print comparisons on the body photos, and I would love to hear from you over there as well. So thank you again. Bye-bye.